Hello and welcome to another vlog. Up street, any roads, where we go up street on any road in Prescot and we find history. Today I'm on Wycherley Street. Wycherley Street in Prescot. Yeah, it's just like any other street. It's red bricked back-to-back houses. It's quite a short street down here, and on the face of it, it doesn't look a very important street, but in actual fact it is important, and it's important for one specific reason. Well, several specific reasons, not just the name Wycherley Street. I'll do that in another vlog, but also the fact that this was used for almost 100 years. This street was used as a processional route for the Roman Catholic Church. This street, yeah. And in 1927 a film crew came to this street, 1927, and they filmed the Catholic procession going down this road here from Grosvenor Road at the bottom and coming up here. And it's the same film, it's related to the same film that I did a vlog about a few episodes ago on the corner of Warrington Road and Kemble Street. I did a vlog, and it was again, it was from 1927. This was done on a different day, but it was the same batches of film that were discovered in Birkenhead Town Hall in the late 1990s. These sets of films, they had very little information on them, but they were all put together in the Northwest Film Archive under the same identification name, and they were all strung together basically, but they were on different reels. It's an interesting bit of footage, and if you're familiar with the films of Michell and Kenyon from the turn of the century, 1901, they're similar to that, where the photographer would go out, or the film crew would go out to the crowds of people and film ordinary life on the streets. Although this was 1927, Michell and Kenyon was 1901, 1902, all right up till 1913. Them films were found in around about the same time, the late 1990s. They were found in a shop, so they're related to that. So what I'm going to do is, rather than just put the film up, I'm going to vlog it in much the same way as I did the last one, and you can see it's a great insight into 1920s life in Prescot, and some of the ordinary people's lives as well. So let's have a look at that. Okay, here is the footage as it appears on the Northwest Film Archive, and you can see in the bottom right hand corner is NWFA, which is their logo, which they tend to put on everything. The stamp of ownership, as it were, but this is a public document in my mind, and it belongs to people. So what I've done with this film, the film is dated, all we know about it is it's dated 1927 and film number 6462, and it was found in a projection room at Birkenhead Town Hall. It's a 35mm silent film, which is a standard type, and silent film is N, which refers to the shape of the perforations on the edge of the negative. And what I've done is basically I've slowed it down slightly for the sake of this video, and I've also lightened it a bit, and I've put a sepia tone on it, so hopefully it should become more enjoyable to watch, and we should be able to see more of the detail. I've also speeded it up and slowed it down and replayed it in various points of interest as we go along, hopefully to eke out more of the fascinating things that actually happened during this video. This window into 1927 and this corner of Prescot should be quite fascinating. Hopefully, I hope you enjoy it. I'm not an expert on Catholic culture or walking parades, but I'll tell you what I observe, and If I miss anything, then perhaps you can leave a comment. So I'm presuming this is an Easter or Whitsuntide parade. This was a very important time in the Roman Catholic calendar. You can see the girls here with garlands of flowers round their heads, and I'm presuming that's something to do with the Roman Catholic tradition of Holy Communion. They're closely followed here by the boys behind the standard bearer, who have sashes, and I've been told that these sashes represent the first Holy Communion for the boys, which it takes place when they're 7 years of age. It looks like these are children from Our Lady's Roman Catholic School on St Helens Road. No doubt the parade would have started at Our Lady's Primary School on St Helens Road and wound its way round Prescot and back to St Helens Road via the High Street. Now this little scene caught my attention as one of the ladies accompanied the children, shepherds one of the children into the line, and then she pulls out a little boy and ties his shoelace. That's a nice little tender moment from 1927. It's obviously a teacher. I think the teachers are walking beside them, and they're just looking after them as they make their way around Prescot. You don't want to be walking around Prescot with a shoelace untied. There he goes, catching up, finding his original place. I've also noticed the boys have different coloured sashes on, so maybe this refers to different Holy Communions, first, second, third, something like that. I'm just assuming. This lady walking past now looks like Miss Huckle from the famous Huckle family, who owned the Flatiron watchmaking factory on Eccleston Street. It's worth noting that during these parades, boys always walk separate to the girls, and they're all finely turned out, as you can see. Parents would save up all year to buy the children clothes or even hire them for just one day for what was indeed a prestigious event in the Walking Day calendar. Walking Day parades and marches were very popular in the northwest of England, and the roots of these processions can be traced to the Middle Ages, and religious walking days were originally based around pagan feast days. I remember these parades in the 1960s, and I'm sure this one would have gone onto Warrington Road, turned left down Warrington Road and then onto Kemble Street past my old house, because we used to see them all of the time. They died out in the 1990s, the late 1990s I think, where they became less popular. Unfortunately, it's such a great tradition. Now this is interesting. Prescot Parish Church Brass Band conducted by W. Appleton. Prescot Parish Church in a Catholic parade. A perfect example of Catholic and Protestant cooperation. Something that Prescot's rightly proud of, and so it should be. Now this caught my attention. The euphonium man on the left here was also the same person who was walking in the Protestant parade and featured on my previous video on the junction of Warrington Road and Kemble Street. I'd love to know who he is. If you know, then please leave a comment. The Women's Guild of St Anne, the Children of Mary, can be traced back to medieval Ireland, and it's one of the many references to Ireland that I've found throughout this parade. The other was the CYMS, which was the Catholic Young Men's Society, which was founded in Limerick. On the right hand side you can see the fire engine station, and in 1927 the station got a brand new fire engine, And here it is, with the crew, all posing nicely. It was a council-owned fire station, and that's in 1940, where they get a new piece of kit as well. Many people today remember the old fire station, and it was manned by volunteers. It's nice to see it on film, don't you think? Cloche hats again. It's nice to see. These were very fashionable in the 1920s. By 1933, they'd lost favour, and times had changed. Just like they do, fashions change. If you enjoy watching this type of video, I strongly suggest you watch the BBC series of Michell and Kenyon, which you can view on YouTube, or you can actually buy the DVDs. Fascinating. I'll leave a link on this video. This is the CYMS Guild, the Catholic Young Men's Society, which was founded in Limerick in 1846. This shows a real link with Ireland, as a lot of immigrants did settle in Prescot during the potato famine in the 1840s and 50s, and no doubt was the origins of the Catholic Church in Prescot. This young boy caught my eye at the end of the video, running towards the camera, and there he goes with the energy of youth as he disappears. Okay, that was an amazing bit of footage, don't you think? Fascinating to see, you know, them faces from the past. Obviously, if you're born and raised in Prescot, you're from Prescot. A lot of them people will be related to you in some respects, or to me as well, if your family come from Prescot or the surrounding area. Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church, well, it had a presence in Prescot, and it's an important presence as well. It played an important part in civic life and in the life of Prescotians. And these walking day traditions were particularly important for people of West Lancashire, which includes this here, and places in Wigan, Billinge, Chorley, all of West Lancashire, in fact, you know. And Prescot was a typical town, but we're very fortunate to have these bits of footage here, and it just gives that connection to the past and brings the past alive. I'm sure you'll agree. So I hope you enjoyed that little film. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and if you did, then give us a like, support the channel, ring the notification bell. That's a little bell that you get to notify you every time I put a new video up, which is very important. To make a comment and share on your social media. So yeah, thanks for thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.
How can I express, dear, all that's in my heart? Gladly I confess, dear, I loved you from the start. I'm so happy now, and I'm thankful too, for today my prayers were answered, and I found